Home Friday presents Tales from the Blog, in which Trent reads a Surely You're Not Serious blog post. And now, Tales from the Blog.
October 13th, 2008. Planes, trains, and automobiles. What a nutty day! Let me tell you about it. Hold on tight, you know how I get when I tell stories. Last Friday, I was working in the office. Yeah, I know, weird, huh? I had traded remote days with another guy in the office. The big boss sent out an email at 10 a.m. saying that due to the economy and everyone being down in the dumps, he wanted to cheer us up. Everyone, even remote folks, were instructed to quit working at 2 p.m. and go see a movie on the company's dime. To be honest, I was in the groove with my code and getting things done and didn't really want to stop short. I told my boss I promised I would leave early, but I wanted to stay for a while. Right after I got home, but before I could get settled in, my sister called me from Amarillo. She was at the Amarillo airport with her son Caleb in a serious quandary. Caleb was about to board a flight to go spend the weekend with his dad in Austin. However, the flight had a stopover in Dallas in which he'd have to deplane. Caleb is 11. 1 year too young for Southwest Airlines to allow him to change planes unaccompanied. They were steadfast, no way, no how would they let Caleb on the plane unless a family member could meet him at the gate at Love Field. Tammy works in Dallas, about 20 or 30 minutes from the airport. I was at home about 45 to 60 minutes away, what with rush hour traffic. I wasn't sure they'd settle for Tammy, and I was sure that she wouldn't want to make the drive to and from Love Field in Friday rush hour traffic alone. And besides, if I could meet her over there, we could have a Friday date night in Dallas. Bonus! We had an hour and a half before Caleb landed. I figured I could take the train to Dallas, meet Tammy, drive to the airport, get to the gate just in time. What an adventure! When I was a few stops away, I called Tammy to coordinate her leaving work and picking me up at the downtown station. Tammy called right back. Her car wouldn't start. Dead battery. She got her car jumped, beat me to the station, but had to drive around the block for 10 minutes because there was nowhere to park and she couldn't turn the car off. No problem. We met up and I drove into the traffic snarl headed for the airport. We got to Love Field with a little time to spare. Parked in the garage, no other option thanks to the terrorist, hoping that the rigorous drive was enough to recharge the battery. The curbside check-in lady was polite and friendly. She knew exactly what to do when I said unaccompanied minor and took my information. She printed out something that looked like a boarding pass and then looked up Caleb's flight that should have landed at 6:15. Then things got complicated. No, that flight landed at 5:45. What? It was already 6 o'clock. That can't be right. Sabre told me he wouldn't take off until 5:45. I asked her if they had any planes that could travel at the speed of light, but she didn't laugh. I can't find a Caleb here. Type. That's odd. Type. Finally I said, he's got a connecting flight. I've got to get in there. Curbside check-in lady was nice. She gave me my pass and said good luck. I hurried in and got in line for security. Now I haven't flown in ages, so I'm behind the times. Hey, nice uniform. When did you get those? Pass and ID. Sure, here you go. I'm just meeting an unaccompanied minor. Waved in, get in line for the conveyor belt. I was empty-handed, no problem. No sir, you have to take off your shoes. Okay, stinky old vans in a plastic bin, back in line. Beep! Dang, I forgot my cell phone was in my pocket. Back to the conveyor belt, $400 in a plastic bowl. Crossed fingers, back in line. Beep! Oh, what now? The tiny metal rings in my belt that I am confident are not actually metal are enough to set off the machine. Cheap canvas belt in a plastic bowl, fingers in belt loops to keep my shorts above my ankles, back in line. No beep! Alright! Waddling in stocking feet, $400 safely back in my pocket, shoes tied, no time for the belt, jog to the big TV screens holding the pants up and the belt in my hand. Hey, these only show departures. Gates 1 through 30 to the left, 31 through 60 to the right. 3 people walk past me to the left. Only 1 goes to the right. Left it is! Running down the concourse, trying to thread my belt and text message Tammy at the same time. Look up what gate, please. I start passing gates, scanning for Amarillo, and by the time I'm in the low 20s, Tammy texts back. Gate 11, hurry! Sweet, I guessed right by going left. It is now 6:18. I sprint. Yes, I am capable, but it's not pretty. To gate 11. There is a smiling, friendly gate lady helping another customer, and a grumpy gate lady fiddling with stuff in a drawer and trying not to make eye contact. Oh, and by the way, there's a line of people slowly herding down to an airplane bound for Austin. I try to look desperate, but Grumpy Gate Lady continues to avoid eye contact. Happy Gate Lady looks over her customer and asks if I need help. Did that plane just arrive from Amarillo? Grumpy Gate Lady makes eye contact. I immediately regret it. What? This flight is going to Austin! Yes, I can see that. But did this flight come from Amarillo around 6:15? It's going to Austin. It departs at 6:20. Seriously. Happy Gate Lady chimes in. Are you looking for a little boy? If I wasn't in such a hurry, I would have an awesomely funny retort. Yes! He's in the office across from Gate 8. Just ring the doorbell. Thank you, sprint away. I found the office, rang the doorbell. Again. My phone's buzzing in my pocket. How could I have missed a call? Oh, the X-ray machine. Trying to check voicemail and get a text message from Tammy at the same time. They're trying to call you. Caleb is here. I hear a click behind me. Some guy entered the office. Wait! I catch the door and hurry in. And the guy looks at me none too pleased with that. Is Caleb in here? I need to pick him up. Minor! Laid back office dude enters. Read his lines really slowly. Are you looking for Caleb? Yes! Oh sure, he's right back here. We're watching a movie. Can I see your pass? Yes! There's Caleb, looking every bit like an 11-year-old who knows he's probably missing his flight should look. I fist bump him. Awesome! Do you have your ticket? Nod. Do you know what gate? When do you take off? Confused state. I turn back to lazy office guy. I need to know what gate and when. He's got a connecting flight. Remember, slowly. Sure, no problem. I'll just look it up here. Let me see that ticket, little man. Type. Looks like, type. He's pulling out at 6:20 from gate 11. Slowly looks at watch. Whoa! It is now 6:25. Grab the ticket, grab the nephew, bolt out the door. At this point it occurs to me that he arrived at gate 11 and was departing from gate 11. Gah! Happy Gate Lady has vanished. Possibly murdered and eaten by Grumpy Gate Lady for being so helpful only moments ago. I slide up to the counter holding out the ticket frantically. Here he is, we're here! Snarl, ignoring the ticket I'm waving at her. What flight? Again, seriously. I point out the window at the large metal thing with wings just outside and steal a line from John McCain. That one! Grumpy Gate Lady snatches the ticket from my hand. Type. He's an unaccompanied minor. Yes! Where's his forms? I look at the papers she's already holding. In your hand! He needs his forms filled out for this flight. Is someone picking him up in Austin? We'll have to call and confirm that someone's going to be there. I look over the counter at the paper in her hand where I see the name and phone number of his stepmom on the form. I can see the number from here. Do you want me to call her? Grumpy Gate Lady does not enjoy my witty banter. At this point, mildly irritated flight attendant comes up the ramp to the counter. Grumpy Gate Lady does not make eye contact with him, but indicates that this kid is booked on that flight and I'll have to fill out all his forms. And are you gonna hold the flight for him? Mildly irritated male flight attendant snorts, no, as if we just asked him if he was wearing frilly panties. Grumpy Gate Lady, not making eye contact with anyone in particular, says, well, he's not gonna make it. I have to fill out all his forms. Type. Ugh. Mildly irritated male flight attendant reports that we've still got 5 minutes or so. People are still filing onto the plane, and he heads back down the ramp. Long, uncomfortable silence as Grumpy Gate Lady types. None too fast, mind you. I attempt more witty banter, but it only makes her type slower. I lean over to Caleb and I make note of the fact that they don't seem to like my jokes. Caleb laughs. She doesn't. Flight attendant returns a bit more irritated than before, says nothing, and again, without eye contact, Grumpy Gate Lady says, "He's not going to make it. Nobody filled out his forms. Why didn't anyone fill out his forms?" Type. Flight attendant says we've got a couple more minutes tops and then heads back down the ramp. I'm thinking with the way she's talking, it's going to take Grumpy Gate Lady at least an hour to fill out all these forms. And after that, she still has to make a phone call to Austin, and who knows how long that could take. I literally will her to type faster. She looks up, which startles me a bit. "Okay, now you're gonna have to sign a bunch of forms. Where's a pen? Where's my pen?" I pick up the pen that is sitting on the counter. "I'm ready, you point, I'll sign." Expecting a bunch to mean more than 4, right? She puts the ticket stub on the counter. There's no place to sign. I ask, do I just sign anywhere? As if I'm an idiot. "No, you don't sign that." She puts 3 pieces of paper on the counter and says, "Sign here, here, and here." Done. Waiting for the next salvo. Type. Are you kidding me? Flight attendant returns, clearly irritated. We all watch Grumpy Gate Lady type. Finally, she looks up, waves a hand in the direction of the flight attendant and says, "Yeah, he's good." I shake the nephew's hand. "Stay longer next time." Off he goes. Whew. I thank Grumpy Gate Lady for her help and speedy form filling. She growls and drools a little. Okay, I made that. Moments later, back in the garage, relaying the story to Tammy and thinking about where we want to eat in Dallas, we get back in the car. Click. Oh yeah, the battery. Nuts. No problem. This is an airport. There are people everywhere. I've got jumper cables. Surely someone will give us a jump. The first guy I see, walking away from me, deeper into the garage, with keys in his hand. I ask him for a jump, and without turning around, he yells, "I'm not driving!" Next, I see a smartly dressed young couple getting into a Lexus. "Hey, would you mind giving me a jump? Dead battery. I've got my own cables." Gelled hair, $400 shoes guy says, and I swear I am not making this up, "I don't know where the battery is." I pick my jaw up off the ground and ask, "Well, do you know how to open the hood? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I can find the battery for you." By now, Mr. Crunchy Hair is already in the car, and Mrs. Crunchy Hair gives me a look and says, "We're late for dinner," and shuts her door. I take a look around and confirm that the cars are all licensed for Texas and not New York City, and wonder if this is a bad episode of The Outer Limits. Finally, I see a Hispanic mother with her son getting out of the car. I hesitate because if they're getting out, they're going into the airport and they're probably in a hurry. "Are you in a hurry?" "Wow. Well, I need a jump, but if you've got to go catch a plane, don't worry about it." She looks at her son, ponders, and then smiles and says, "Juhays," and then bumps her fists together in the international sign for jumper cables. "Yes, are you sure you're not in a hurry?" "Jace, okay, no problem." What a nice lady. We start the car, I offer her $10, which she refuses. Take that, Mr. Crunchy Hair. Showed up by a Spanglish-speaking mom. Finally, we're back on the road and decide not to risk turning off the car in this neighborhood. Never thought I'd refer to uptown Dallas that way. We drove to a Long John Silver's and figured out how to lock the car with it still running without crawling through the sunroof, and have a quick bite to eat before heading home, where we realize that my truck is at the train station. Awesome!